beautiful nerds. Welcome to our third session of our mini-series, Shadows of Ashcaleen, the second published series set within the world of Odromia. Today, we are going to once again be following our three amazing and mysterious original characters as they explore the world and begin to delve deep into the seemingly never-ending secrets of Ashcaleen, the capital city of the Kingdom of Nimrion. But who better to introduce themselves than our wonderful cast, starting out with M.
Hi, I'm Wingle the Wizard. You can find me on TikTok at Wingle the Wizard. You can also find me on World Tree Quests on Wednesdays, where we go into the skies. I'm playing Dr. Manovel, College of Eloquence Bard, Mind Flare.
Jess.
Hello, everybody. I am Jessica. I also go by I Sneeze Stars online in places like TikTok and Instagram and all that fun stuff. You can also catch me over at DN Denial, where I run my own game and play in a few. And tonight I am playing Elindra Shadowguest, the party's warlock, high elf.
Maybe.
Who knows? Rachel.
Hi everyone, I'm Rachel, also known as the Hug Bandit. I am playing Kalisa, Crazed One, Umada-san. I am a Goliath barbarian. I always want to say bard, and I am not a bard. I just make bad jokes.
And of course, as always, I'm your friendly neighborhood dungeon master, Andy, aka Mr.DanDyDM, and I can be found on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and on all the other socials, including Threads now, which is a thing. And if you happen to come across this episode and you enjoy it, please consider going back and then watching our earlier episodes to see how we got here, as well as my other show, The Survivors of Ashcaleen, which may or may not take place at sort of the same time as this one in terms of the timeline. It's a thing. Anyway, we do, of course, appreciate all of you who have liked and subscribed thus far. And now that we have got our introductions out of the way, let us delve once more into the shadows of Ashcaleen. Wet. Kalisa and Elindra, you are standing within the canal. You're about ankle deep in sort of this running, murky water that runs between the castle keep, known as Winterhold, and the prison known as Ilfang in the North Docks. You have just watched as, soaring into the sky, Dr. Manovel shoots up on his hoverboard, taking with him Sir Alexander, the father of a young fellow, Diggory, who you all met 2 sessions ago and have been journeying with up until very recently. You watch Dr. Manovel. It's almost like a streak across the sky, like watching a meteorite go through the atmosphere. And they're suddenly heading off northwest towards the edge of the city, trying to get Sir Alexander out, as you promised Diggory that you would.
He's a bird, he's a plane, he wants to eat your brain.
There's a jingle in there somewhere. Kalisa, as you're standing in this water, what is the first thing that enters your mind?
Rachel is thinking, just keep swimming, just keep Kalisa's got no thoughts right now. Kalisa's just kind of like saluted the doctor and small child's dad and is just kind of be-bopping along with Kitty.
She doesn't even know Diggory's name. She just thinks of him as small child.
Small child. I was the first one who was like, hi, friend. Are you a friend?
Oh my god.
You're my friend now because you can do something for me.
Exactly.
Yep.
So you're standing in the water and you're just watching Dr. Manovel streak out towards the city walls.
Yep. I'll shout, come back for the circus, as they're flying off.
Elindra, what
Yes.
what is Alindra thinking in this moment as you are standing beneath the immensity of Winterhold Keep, having just escaped from Ilfang?
So many thoughts. So many. As she's watching Manavel just take off, she's like, we could probably wait for him to get back. That was really fast, right? He'll be back quick enough. We can't go in alone, but if I bring them in with me, they're gonna die. They're so gonna die. And then she's like, and then there's like a, well, it'll be okay. We can do this. I can call for help if I need this, but then Father didn't answer this time. And in a panic, she realizes that there's like more that she wants to tell him just in case they do die. Of recent things, like and actually that is something she'll do as well. We're waiting, kind of just clutch her pendant and be like, Father, there's squiggly tadpoles in 2 jars here that people are making a very big deal about, and they're missing, as well as I don't know, maybe a deity in cat form on my friend's shoulder? He says everything's lost here. We're just waiting to catch up. And also, next time, if you could answer, that would be fantastic, because I don't intend to have 2 parents that ignore me. Sorry. And I love you. And for that conversation.
Give me an Arcana check.
All right. Llama dice. Ooh, 19. Arcana is probably
You
worth
reaction
1.
guidance that.
hang on. I add guidance. My Arcana is +4. So that's pretty good, actually. It's 23.
Okay. On a 23. Are you saying all of this out loud? Like, can Kalisa hear all this?
No, she would say it in her head to the pendant.
Understood. Kalisa, as you clutch the pendant and watch Dr. Manavel, and you take a look around and you see Kalisa and you look down at the water, time stops.
Shit.
Not for you. Just everything else. The far-off sounds of explosions and firebolts being lobbed by red mages on their skyships. The sound of the water as it's moving from one place to the next, the ripples, all of it suddenly stops.
I may have spoken out of turn.
Kalisa, you see Kalisa just sort of looking up at Dr. Manavel as they're, who is also stopped in midair, it would seem. The only one who doesn't seem to have been stopped by this, say, prayer conversation is Kitty. Kitty, no words, turns their head and looks at you, eyes going wide, normally yellow, suddenly the black of their eyes widen as they stare you in the face. The flames...
I have the look of just absolute terror for a second there in my head. Like,
the flames that you hold within you, it's like when you, like, I'm trying to remember the chemical that you would coat your hands with. It's like lighter fluid. You would coat your hands with it and then you would light it on fire and it would burn off really quickly and it wouldn't really hurt you. But if you held it out in the dark, you would see your hand was like wreathed in blue flame. That's what's currently happening to your body as sort of your true self is beginning to sort of leak out during this moment of prayer, this conversation that you're having with this other being. You hear a voice.
Alindra, all of this is good news. It is very interesting, this tidbit about the tadpoles. I wouldn't worry so much about that, though. That will sort itself out in its own time. I would say focus on the task at hand. And whatever tools or implements that you require in order to accomplish your tasks, they are at your disposal. Just remember that if you ever feel that it is too much what you are being asked to accomplish, you can always reach to me. Your brothers and sisters, they hope to see you once more. And I am sure that flame will shine bright once more within the Unity.
Oh, there's a lot to do here. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have been so cross with you.
Oh, no.
Boris.
I totally, I get it. I was busy a moment ago, and I wasn't able to respond immediately, so I appreciate you sending the message, and I did hear it, but I was stuck between worlds.
You're ever so busy, and I should take that into account. My apologies, Father.
Listen, there's another. I've sent one of your other sisters into the field, as it were.
Wait,
They're
what?
very
Sorry?
Wait, what? Here?
Not here, where you are. There's in Odromia, but there's another one out. They're on a separate quest. Do not worry yourself about them. My only hope is that once you are joined once again, your stories will shine, and so much knowledge will be gleaned from them.
I might have to tell you the knowledge.
It's not really how this works.
Do you like her better than me?
I love all of my creations equally.
But I'm your favorite, right?
You are by far one of the more unique of your siblings, and your quirks are something that I have endless appreciation for.
I love you too.
There is another pause.
Is there anything else that you require?
No, I'm going to go into the castle and see what this little vampire child is doing.
Just know, they are not acting alone. You know
No.
this.
I know.
Also, I wouldn't worry so much if, just from what I'm detecting around you, it seems that you are in good company.
She nods, even though he's not there. Yeah. Also, you're my favorite father, but I'm not coming back to the flame. Okay, bye.
Right before, as the connection is cut, you hear it's almost cut, because of the cutting off, it almost comes off as a whisper.
We'll see about that.
And the connection is severed. And it's at that point the world suddenly the rippling water suddenly moves. It's almost like a fast forward. It's and the explosions in Manavel streaking once again across the sky. And Kalisa is like, ah! And Kitty's eyes, which were watching you the entire time, having this conversation in real time, they were not slowed down by what happened. Mm-hmm. And they are looking at you, and there is a look of terror.
I message Kitty in their brain hole, and I'm like, what? You know what I am.
I'm so sorry. I have no idea what you are. And now I'm very worried what kind of people Kalisa has gotten herself wrapped up with. And this is making me very, very nervous.
Has Kitty changed his tune? His last game, or like earlier this day, he seemed like when I went into flames, he was like, "Ooh, I know what this is." I'll message back. What are you playing at?
I'm sorry. There are multiples housed within this. We all talk
How many?
and share. That's not important right now.
Too many. Okay, cool. I look at Kalissa and I'm just like, yeah, your cat's
The best cat in the whole world?
super special. Super special. Like it's more than one cat.
You know, sometimes I feel like Kitty is many different kitties.
Yeah, maybe you should focus on that sometime. See if you can tell the difference when one's being the other. Yeah.
That's a really weird expression that I've never heard before.
All right.
How you doing?
Can I have a hug?
Of course. I kind of squat down a little bit. I open my arms.
I jump up.
And I squeeze
When
you and
you
I do
jump
a little
up-
spin.
And you go in for the hug. Kitty, it's like a cat who's deciding whether or not they're stuck between a rock and a hard place, because on one hand, they have to jump into water. On the other hand, they could stay where they are and be really close to a being that they have. And so you see this momentary panic, and you see them make the choice, and they immediately jump off of Kalisa and down into the water, and they hit the water, and it's like, and suddenly they try to claw their way back up Kalisa's leg, and they're sort of like clinging
I'll
on for
mage
dear
hand
life.
pick it up. So it's just like I scruff it.
Oh
What
my
cat?
God.
And I look at the cat and out loud I say, you know what? We got along earlier, so I don't know what this is about. And I'll place it back on Kalissa's shoulder. Being
And
Switching
I'm still
over.
hugging you.
Switching over as this hug is progressing, Dr. Manovel, I need you to give me a perception check.
I would love to. 7, but like a strong 7.
7 is such a strong number.
Lucky number, some would say.
Yeah,
A passable number, a decent number, if you will.
for sure.
An adequate.
I don't
As
know
you-
about that.
As you were streaking up into the sky, you see the first layer of clouds. Suddenly, you come right up above them, and you are looking down, and you sort of see, like, in between the clouds, looking down over the city of Ashcaleen, and you're moving at a very good clip. Since we're not in combat, I'm going to say that you are able to get to where you need to go. I will say this, though. Given the fact that this board is really made only for one person, and you are piloting with 2 people, and Sir Alexander is a terrified person holding on to you, I would like you to give me I'll say an athletics check to pilot this hoverboard the distance you are trying to get.
If I hold on to him with my tentacles and reveal myself,
You would have
Could
to
I-
turn around and scare him even more than he already is.
that's not worth it.
Just warning you.
Okay, it's a 15.
Okay. As you move with stunning speed, even though you are carrying a second person, you are making yourself as aerodynamic as possible on this board, and you are you feel like the moisture, like the raindrops within the clouds cling to your skin, and it's almost like this stinging feeling as they hit you, and you are just burning through the air, through the sky, up, and you see the city below you getting smaller and smaller as you begin to make your way over the Starriness district. Freaking out, you see all of the different temples below you. And you see all of the houses of worship and the different schools of magic. And you see these monasteries and shrine. Thank you. It is a shrine. It is a shrine to all of the different shrines of all the different gods that are housed within the city of Ashcaleen in this one particular religious district quarter of the city. And you suddenly see the very edge of the Dungannon as it descends into that deep gorge, and you see all of the houses and buildings, structures that are outside the city walls that descend into the canyon that is the Dungannon. And then off to your left, you see the city wall, and you streak across and you pass over the city wall, and suddenly you are outside the city. What do you want to do?
I think that Manavel knows that he just left his party in a deadly situation. So when I tell you that I barely stopped to let him off, it's more of a brace yourself.
I'm assuming you're descending to the ground.
Oh yeah, it's like a quick descent, but he as we're going down, it's like, I'm going to need you to jump off. I need to get back. Goodbye. Diggory should be. We told him to go to Brigitta's. I don't know if he went there. Good luck.
And then you find the nearest hay pile.
You're at 800 feet in the air, and you're just like, brace yourself.
I would get down as low as I absolutely
tuck and roll.
Yeah, it is one of those things where it's just like he's going to try and save as much time as he possibly can. This guy, Manavel is such a socialist. He knows that this guy likes to talk. Okay. He was having a father issue in the middle of the prison. I don't have physical time for that right now. I have humans that I actually give a crap about. And I don't want them to die before I can tell Lisa that I'm not doing the carnival. Or
oh my god! What? How dare!
As you make your swift descent to the ground, you're north of Scarnborough. So you're north of the western farms that are outside the city, but you are near the main road that goes north. There's two roads that are split by the Dungannon that head north. One goes along the coast, one goes north and then makes a sharp turn northwest. And you are on the northwesterly road, and you sort of stop down at the side. You're on top of this hill that gives a really good view of the city. And you see it is, at this point, it is still in the dead of night. The moon is high. You touch down on this very briefly on this little hillock that overlooks the city, and do you say anything to surround him?
He should be at. I told him to go to Brigitta's. I don't know, sir. He's in danger.
Diggory's at Brigitta's. Okay.
Possibly.
Okay. All right.
I don't.
North of Scarnborough, along the northwesterly. Okay. I think I know how to get where I need to go. Thank you.
I quickly put a hand on his shoulder and I go, keep him away from every well you find. I know that sounds weird or crazy. I understand.
Who is this crazy person who's talking to me right now?
I'm telling you, this is important. Wells, you can fuck them.
Got it. As Manavel does basically a really cool 180 on his hoverboard and just and he just back up into the air.
I use a tree branch to use my momentum to go upside down and then twist up, so I don't even have to waste time. Manavel, a very charismatic person, does not understand anything to do with conversationalism.
Yes. So as Dr. Manavel, Tony Hawk pro skaters his way back up into the sky,
great.
you leave a very bewildered Sir Alexander down upon the ground overlooking the city, and you see him look north, you see him look south towards Scarnborough, and he begins to head in the direction of Scarnborough. I'm going to say, for the sake of time, you are able to make it back, but I will say, Dr. Manovel, give me a stealth check.
Dirty 20.
Ooh, yeah.
You make it back over the city walls. You streak over the Starry Nest District, over Winterhold Keep, and eventually you see the canal which leads to the opposite sewer grate, which goes into the lower portion of Winterhold Keep. You see at first the tiny specks that are Kalisa, Kitty, and Alindra standing still within the canal. And in the, say, 10 minutes that you were gone, you were able to finally come back and get back with the group.
I would like to disguise
Sorry,
self.
everyone who thought we were doing a split party situation. Gotcha. So you are once again reunited with your friends, your companions. You touch down and you sort of like do the hop, skip, and a jump off your board into the water, and you sort of like do the, I'm sorry, I'm using a lot of skating terms. You do the kick on your hoverboard. It pops up into the air and you grab it and you just.
He's very agile for an old man.
You hear as you're just like, as you land beside us, I'm a very good daughter. As I go through trauma.
10 minutes, Linder's been just unloading.
Yeah, this whole
And
time.
I'm just like,
Sometimes you need to be your own person.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And Lindra and Kalisa are still hugging. Or Kalisa is like
My
hugging
head is in your
Alindra.
boobies.
Kalisa is still hugging Alindra to herself, because in Kalisa's mind, this is what friends do when they've already agreed to be in your circus. So
my circus, my monkeys.
exactly. So yes, you are all once again reunited. Manovel, you stumble across, not stumble, but you see Kalisa and Alindra hugging, and you see Kitty hanging on,
Wet.
sort of being held aloft by Alindra's mage hand.
I finally
What?
understand WAP.
Why is the cat wet? And I pressed it to him dry.
Oh,
What did
I
I
could have
miss?
done that, but I didn't because he's a jerk cat.
Are you saying this out loud?
Yes.
Kalisa, what do you do?
He doesn't like me anymore, and I don't know why.
Lisa is too stunned to speak.
I believe that Kalisa, Alindra is salty, not being sassy, but not being disrespectful to cat.
Okay, brain trying to
Instead of
figure out.
Let me hug
rage
its mouth.
mode, not
Be
rage
close
mode.
to it. You're fully from. You're like, I'm being muffled by your like chest a little bit. I'm like, instead of let me hug Kalisa, it decided to jump into the water. Deserves to be wet.
Oh, she's insulted.
How absolutely horrid.
Okay. And I just kind of set you down, and I'm still like trying to figure out, because on one hand, this is Kitty, right? But on the other hand, you did promise to join the circus. So
I would like to remind you that the prison down the canal is being currently invaded, and we are not in a good situation. So I love the fact that you guys are getting along. We need to figure out what we're doing.
I'm gonna reach out to Pet Kitty and see if it accepts my hand.
Uh-oh.
I swear to God, do not jump back in the water.
Are you gonna roll for pets?
I would like to roll to boop the snoot.
I would like to roll to boop the snoot, please.
Uh,
Oh my god, the ugly laugh.
Great
give
Theo.
me a handle animal check.
This is not gonna go well. Ew, new dice. 4. Okay, that's not gonna go well.
Oh no. Oh no.
Kitty does the whole.
Rude little animal.
They go up on their haunches, and their back just suddenly goes up in the air, and all their fur stands on end, and their tail becomes this like it's incredibly straight, and their ears are just like, and they're just.
You know what you see? You see a look that passed over Alindra's face that's like, oh, that didn't take long. Like she's used to that reaction.
Oh, trust me, Manavel understands exactly what's going on. And Manavel removes his disguise self. Kitty, come on. We started getting along.
Are you talking in your head to Kitty, or are you actually talking out loud to Kitty?
I no longer have universal speech, so but I can telepathy to him. But I think it's vocal. I'm saying it out loud, but I'm also projecting into his head. Come on, Kitty. Have we not proved our worth to you? Alindra saved our asses in the prison. If she didn't distract them, Kalisa and I wouldn't have had the opportunity to escape. We were about to get invaded. Come on.
Meanwhile,
Don't be a sourpuss.
Is the only thing keeping it up.
Kitty's
I'm so tempted to just let it
to...
go back in the water.
Don't be a sourpuss.
Kitty's reaction will determine whether or not Kalisa goes into rage mode. Don't
give DM the ultimatum.
Kalisa, this conversation is happening between Dr. Manavel, and so you can't hear Kitty's side, but you hear Dr. Manavel's side of the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Kitty noticeably calms down, like they drop their back, their ears that were sort of like pinned back, they're now like up. And they sit their rump down on Kalisa's shoulder as they sort of climb back up into that position. And they begin to lick their paw, still looking at Dr. Manavel and Alindra, and Dr. Manavel and Alindra.
Butter.
I accept all three of you exactly the way you are. Fire, rage, and whatever the fuck you are. And all.
Kitty looks Manavel dead in the face, says
out loud?
No. In Manavel's head.
I'm just going to have to trust that all of you are going to honor your promises, that no harm will come to this one.
By this one, she means Kalisa.
At that, I'm like, so if you come in the castle with me, you're probably going to die. I don't know this has been said, though.
Alindra, have you been in the castle before? Or do you know anything about the castle? So we're going into the castle with no map, no idea where we're going, to just fuck shit up?
I'm cool with
so my recommendation is we go to plan B.
Prison riot?
We'll go castle riot for this one, my friend.
I think that's a great idea.
Oh.
All right, so here's the deal. Inside that castle, there's probably a lot of vampires. Run by little child vampire that's decided to take over the queen, who ultimately...
As Alindra is saying this, what is Kalisa's reaction to this information?
We've done pretty good with vampires so far. I just saw...
We kind of annihilated them.
Okay. Alindra, please continue.
Who might be working for... Well, who is working for something much more powerful. And they're trying to just take over the world, more or less. And going in there is going to be dangerous, but that's also why I'm here.
Gonna be honest, I retained very minimum of what you said. I heard vampires.
We need to kill.
It's pretty good with vampires. I heard taking over the world. That doesn't really have anything to do with me.
Yes.
Okay.
Daddy said I shouldn't deal with the tadpoles. They'll work themselves out.
There seems to be a lot of moving pieces in what's happening here.
Dr. Manavel, what is your reaction to Alindra's reference? Because at this point, Daddy has only been referenced in Alindra's mind. She's never mentioned Daddy out loud before.
You knew Alan too?
I don't know who Alan is. I'm sorry.
I'm confused then.
I'm very confused as to what's happening right now.
Okay,
We're all confused.
hold on. I have the semblance of a possibility of a plan. If I, which I am, an apex predator, I would keep anything that I would be susceptible to close by. If we're going from the
Doctor?
sewers, what is the likeliness that there might be some treasure in the basement that we can use to our advantage and then just fuck shit up?
I like this plan.
I'm
Then we
very
have enough.
confused as how we went from they need certain conditions to that there's treasure in the basement.
Well, if it was me and I would hoard anything that could kill me close to me.
Yes,
Lady,
well,
do
how,
you
how
not
does
keep-
treasure kill you?
Well, treasure could be a lot of things. It could be weapons, it could be gold, it could be a circus. I don't know.
Okay.
Was that a
There's, there's a circus in the basement.
There could be. You never
Mhm.
know. Treasure is up to the beholder, correct?
Yeah. I want to make sure we're all on the same page. Is there a circus in the basement or no?
We
And
cannot
then I
give
just
you.
start walking.
We cannot give you a definitive yes or no because we've never been in there, and I'm running behind you.
I don't know. You seem to promise a circus, so I'm going ahead.
Well, it might be a month of money for a circus. You never
Right.
know.
Okay. So I just turn around and walk behind them. Sure.
So, just to clarify,
Yes, we are breaking into the castle to look for a
We are
circus in their
going-
basement.
you're going into Winterhold's Keep.
Yeah.
One of you is going for their own reasons. The other one is following along in the hopes that there might be some kind of treasure, sort of aligning with the plan that Alindra has. They don't really know what it is. And then there's the other one who literally basically was promised a circus because it might be inside the prison, sort of like Schrodinger's cat. It exists within 2 states within the box. And we don't know if there is actually a circus because we've never been inside the Winterhold's Keep. There could be a million circuses inside that keep for all we know. And we just have to go in and find one.
Right.
That's basically the lay of the land we're dealing with.
Yeah.
That needs to be a clip. That's the promo.
Cool. As you approach the south facing sewer grate, the one that's directly in front of you, there are 4 bars. 2 of the bars are like bent in a certain. It's bent in a way that one person could like get through, and that person would be about the size of an Alindra, not a Kalisa. Kalisa is very large. Alindra is much shorter, much tinier than a Kalisa.
Fine. That's sizes, but okay.
The person who built it wasn't thinking about Goliaths.
That's discrimination.
How are we supposed to get in if she can't get in here? I should have brought more butter. Could lube you up.
I'd let you lube me up.
Oh my goodness. How are
Would
we
you
supposed to
like
get
a
through?
private moment?
Oh,
And to be fair, if anyone's getting lubed up, I have mucus.
Oh, God.
Maybe you should hug her. I'm concerned that she's not going to fit in this hole.
You know what? You guys hugged each other and he brings all his tentacles out and just smothers you with tentacles and mucus. A big group hug.
Elendra just stands there and accepts the love, but is like,
Ugh.
okay.
this is not what I meant by lubed up. I thought it was fine.
Kitty again is like,
Just
and then
love me, Kitty. It's
and then
too late.
and then immediately is just like one of those things where a tentacle gone awry suddenly like slaps it in the face, and Kitty's just like and then comes back and is like he like sees Dr. Manovel and is like, on verge of attacking, and then sees Kalisa just sort of accepting all of the hugs from Alindra and Manavel. And if the kitten could roll its eyes, it would, because people.
Are we
A lot of affection.
Are we still in water?
You are still in water. You are outside of the sewer grate, the sort of oddly shaped sewer grate that currently the bars are. Dr. Manavel would barely be able to get in. Alindra would be able to get in just fine. But Kalisa is not able to, at least currently.
I have an idea. Just really quick. If mine doesn't work, Alindra, you might plan bleed. I have knock. If I cast knock under the water, would it be able to suppress some of the sound that comes out of that? Would you allow me like a stealth check just to see if I can suppress some of the sound?
From your knock spell?
Yeah, knock it opens any lock.
So it's not a lock. It's just there's just 4 iron bars. It's not it
open. Door, box, chests, mundane manacles, padlocks, other objects that contain mundane or magical means to prevent access.
Yeah,
no?
It's not a locking mechanism. It's just bars and mortar.
So if I rip the bars,
you could certainly try.
Would you allow me to like heat 2 ends of one bar so that it's like melting it so she could easily just pull it out?
Okay. Yes.
That's cool.
I would say, Alindra, you could do that, and that would give. I would say that would allow whatever strength check that Kalisa makes, she'll be able to do it with advantage.
All right, hang on. And my hands go up into that blue flame, and I grab the bars. What am I pulling now?
Okay.
As the bar sort of heats, suddenly it becomes almost white hot. As you can see just the very beginning moments of when the bar itself just suddenly becomes like a wet noodle.
All right. So I kind of like crack my knuckles, crack my head, pat Kitty, and I just go over and I rolled a 19 plus 4.
You rolled a 23?
It did.
Okay.
Bam.
Ignoring the intense heat from the molten metal that is now this bar, you basically, using your brute strength, you just take the 2 oddly shaped or oddly angled bars and and the first bar basically just liquefies in your grasp because you just basically just toss off this metal that when it hits the water outside, it suddenly and the metal is made whole once again. The mortar around this sewer grate, you basically yank the bars, the mortar, and all of it just sort of right out of the wall. And you sort of it just sort of like almost disintegrates in your hand as you just sort of drop it down on the ground. Now there is a much larger, nicer hole that all of you could get through.
Look at that teamwork, guys. And I give Kitty a high five.
Kitty, again, if a cat could roll its eyes, it would do so. Paw.
Yes. Kalisa. Kalisa. Yeah.
Kalisa.
I just love how much Kalisa wants to be a performer right now.
We have to.
And then I slide right in.
I'm doing that in her head though because I'm trying not to be loud.
You get the golf clap from Alindra, just really silently.
Thank you. Yes.
Charming.
Mm-hmm.
Are you all proceeding into the hole?
I'm already in. I slipped right in as soon as I like threw it away, and I was just cheering my own name. And I was like, all right, let's go.
As you enter the darkness of this much larger hole now, you see that it is actually, at least initially, very much like the one that you encountered at Ilfang. It is a legitimate sewer grate. It is something that runs. Like if you had actually gone the rest of the distance along the canal inside Ilfang, it's basically a system that goes from Winterhold's Keep through the canal, through Ilfang, and then eventually makes its way down to the ocean through the North Docks.
Wow.
So it's sort of like an irrigation system almost.
Yeah.
And you enter into a very dark space. But along each side of you, you see sort of an upper walkway where that sort of is cut in two by the water that is sort of descending down into the canal.
As we're walking in Alindra's head, Alindra, I know this is important to you, but we need a safe word because we're going into this very blind. If there is a possibility of us losing one of us, we need to get the fuck out.
She'll stop and she'll be like, pull Calissa back. There is a possibility of losing someone. That's what I've been trying to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but regardless, we're going to go in blind. So we have a way in now. So why don't we do an exploratory, and if it gets too we get out before we anything, if that's the case. If we can go further, let's do it, but maybe we can just find a way to get in for later so we can have a plan.
So which way to the circus? It seems like there's been a little bit of a miscommunication here. Is this circus like really deadly? Because I could be into it. I really,
Listen, my darling.
Uh-huh.
My gorgeous, lovely, beautiful darling.
Thank you. I think you're very attractive too. Yes, please continue.
Calissa, I need to give me a wisdom saving throw.
What?
Oh no. Oh, I actually rolled pretty high. 15 plus, it's 15.
You rolled high?
I did.
Good. As Calissa, as you hear Alindra and Manaval sort of exchange, or they have an exchange of looks, because you sort of have gotten used to them sort of sometimes having conversations with each other. You've gotten very used to it. They do it a lot.
No.
As they're having this sort of conversation, and correct me if I'm wrong, but there is a portion of this conversation that is had out loud.
Yes, mine.
Okay. It starts off telepathic, and then Alindra was the one that says, "I've been telling you this entire time."
Right. So, Calissa, there is a moment where you suddenly feel sort of the briefest of pressures in your mind, and suddenly you hear Kitty's voice.
Listen, dear, you know that I care for you, right? We've been through a lot together. We've traveled so far to get to the circus here, and it was so much fun just performing the way we did, and I very much like the fact that we're not at the circus anymore, because the proprietor of that business was, let's be honest, he was a little suspicious. We're going into potentially a very dangerous situation, and I would like to just point out, I know that you are a very, very, very observant person, but you are currently traveling with two very, very dangerous individuals, and I know that you are a very, very trusting sort, and I admire that about you. I just want to make sure that you are aware that this one...
And you see Kitty just in Dr. Manaval's direction.
This one is dangerous because there's a lot more of them out there, just not here right now.
Okay.
And then the same,
and again, with the other ear in Alindra's direction.
This one,
But he was wrong.
When we were in the canal just now, there was a conversation that was had, and they were talking to someone else, and it wasn't you. and it wasn't me. And Dr. Manovel wasn't even here, so they were just having a conversation with someone. And listen, I just don't want you to get your hopes up about a circus that I don't know if it's ever going to happen. At least not in the way that you want.
Dale.
Oh, Kitty, give it to me straight. Because I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. You and me, we've been through a lot together, and I really, really need you to be honest with me.
None of that down talk. None of that down talk. You are very, very smart about things that you're very, very smart about. And
You Kitty?
some other times you have to rely on other people.
Yep.
This might be one of those times.
So, do you think I can rely on these people for now?
I don't think you really have much of a choice.
Kitty, do you think that I should start to care about the world?
Kalisa?
Yes. Hello, other kitty.
I've already had this conversation with this one
Okay.
over in Elendra's direction. I mean this, I'm trying to say this in as gentle a way possible.
Okay.
This city is in a bad way.
I should help.
It wouldn't hurt if you decided to continue with these people. I just know you're going somewhere very, very dangerous. And I know that you come from a very dangerous place as well. This is just a very different sort of danger.
Kitty, I trust these people.
Good.
I think they'll help. I think they've got my back. I think they've got your back too. But I just need to know that you're 100% on board too, because it's you and me, Kitty, forever. And you mean the most.
We know that, darling. We do.
I would watch the world burn just to save you, Kitty. And I don't say that lightly.
We know this. It's...
Okay.
We trust her.
Yes, absolutely. We trust her, yes.
We will trust your judge of character in this moment.
Okay,
And
Kitty.
you call the shots
You mean that?
for now.
Okay. That's good enough for me, Kitty. And I kind of perk up and I'm all happy and I'm like, all right, whatever you guys think.
This whole conversation basically ends as Elendra is saying what she says out loud.
And I'm calling her like my sweetheart, but I know that it's not
Landing.
She's not really there.
Nothing behind these beautiful eyes of mine. I'm so sorry about that, guys. I was thinking some thoughts.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of
Were they
thoughts.
good thoughts? Were they helpful?
I think they were very helpful thoughts. So here's my thought. Maybe we should put the circus on the back burner, and whatever you guys think is helpful towards maybe saving the world, I'm thinking, and guys, just brace yourself. I've had a change of heart. I think, and it really does pain me to say this, I think maybe I should start giving a shit about, and I gesture around everything.
You've grown very much in the last 3 hours.
I'd say I probably grew the most within the past 30 seconds.
That's what she said.
And it's on this joke about penises. We're going to take a 5.
Okay.
I'm sorry. It was just...
I got a side DM from M asking if we could take a quick 5, and I was like, may as well be now.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. I'll see you guys in 5.
As the 3 of you begin to make your way into the darkness of this tunnel. You, again, as I said before, you notice that it is sort of similar in makeup and design to the tunnel that you encountered in Ilfang. And as these brief conversations take place, you are moving down this passageway that is illuminated by the reflection of the moonlight on the water, as it just sort of, and it has this sort of rippling effect on the ceilings within this passageway. But it only extends just so far, and that's sort of when your dark visions all kick on as you make your way. And as you see several different ladders that ascend up into these tunnels that go up. And it looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4. And it just keeps going and going and going into the darkness.
We could go towards the center of the castle and try and find a ladder that has been the least used and go up somewhere that might be quiet.
Kalisa is just going to ask point blank, how important is stealth to this mission?
Fairly important.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a problem? Is that a... Is that a problem? Kalisa?
I don't know if you've noticed or not, but I am quite large. And
very thick with
yeah.
2 C's.
Mm-hmm. I'm thicker than a Snicker. Anyways, I was just thinking that, now that I recently decided that I'm going to start caring about things, I just want to be honest with you guys. I'm not very good at being stealthy. I'm sure I could if I really wanted to. But if there's anything that you need, like smashing or like kicking or like killing, that's really where my skills shine. So,
Kalisa, make like Kitty. Have you seen Kitty's able to get into very small places? I know that you can do it. You are one with that cat, and I'll give you a bardic inspiration.
Okay. Okay.
Heads together, heads in.
Okay.
Now that Kalisa says the plan, I'm starting to question our antics. This doesn't sound actually as good. If this is as dangerous as you say, Alindra, maybe the best course of action is leaving the door open and coming back with an actual plan. And I don't mean to waste anyone's time, but is it really worth not knowing and getting ourselves killed than saving the city with an actual course of action?
This is, more or less the same thing.
I think maybe, and I'm really, really trying to think a lot of really deep, intellectual, very smart thoughts. Bear with me, guys. It hurts my head a lot. And
something was coming.
I think maybe we'll all feel really good after a nap. It seems pretty quiet here, right?
Are you insane?
And Kitty's already asleep, I think. And then I look at Kitty. Is Kitty asleep?
There's no way Kitty's asleep. You just had a conversation.
Kitty is not asleep. Kitty has been.
Anyways,
Kitty's been watching.
That Kitty is not.
The exchange going back and forth between Alindra, Manavel, and Kalisa, sort of watching everybody talk.
But we should look around. When are we going to be this close? When are we going to be this close again?
Really no. This is all new to me. Are we talking all 3 of us now inside of our brains, or is it just us?
We're whispering very quietly to each other.
Okay, so we're speaking out loud now. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Listen. Okay. I'm not mortal, per se.
What does that mean?
So I'm not an elf.
Okay.
Obviously.
I'm not the human.
Yes, I was made, and I don't exactly have my own life. More like I'm told to do something, and that's what I have to do, and then I go back.
Servants?
Well, he says more like a child.
Sounds like maybe not a child. Do you want to do what other people are telling you? Because listen, I don't do what people tell me, and it feels great.
You listen to a cat for advice for everything.
My novel has a point.
But that's not a person.
Well, I'm not really listening to a person either.
Okay.
I'm Hellfire.
When you say hellfire,
I just ignite.
I've seen this before. It was hot.
Thank you. It is hot, very hot.
Alindra, you ignite, and suddenly the darkness is pushed away. Everything within 30 feet of you is illuminated. And you are once again the inferno that the two of you witnessed when she was intimidating the guards within Ilfang. And you see the hair on her head suddenly light and become this writhing blue flame that also ends and terminates in smoke that doesn't seem to go anywhere per se. It's just sort of held within around her head, and all of her clothes suddenly become like almost it's not that they're burning up, they're just suddenly on fire. And you see like her skin like suddenly becomes like cracked, and there's like this faintest hint of like magma lava that exists beneath it. And you see that each step that she takes within the water of the canal, suddenly there's a steam that is rising within the air.
Okay. So are we doing this now? Are we talking about this like now?
I'm okay. Every time I try to tell you what you're getting into, you cut me off.
Uh-huh.
We are all ears right now.
My father sent me to
Before she says what she says, Kalisa, you hear Kitty.
Oh, please, please. No one interrupt her. Nobody interrupt.
No one interrupt her right now at all.
I'm sorry, Kitty.
Let her talk.
Yes, Kitty. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
My father sent me to find out what my uncle's doing. One of my uncles have disappeared. I believe it's is it Asmodeus or Asmodeus?
Asmodeus.
And my father is Mephistopheles. Grosjet, my
Yes.
cousin.
Sort of. Yeah.
My kind of cousin?
Kind of.
Is Grosjet, and he's trying to remove all of the gods from this world. And he's already succeeded with Bahamut.
Oh.
And he's that little vampire child that I told you about. He works for him.
Okay.
I'm trying to find out more about that. We aren't sure if maybe he's the reason that Asmodeus is gone, but it's bad.
But is this going to happen tonight? Do we have any kind of time limit that we have? Because
We don't
rushing
know.
in blind is not a good idea either.
We don't know. I don't have a time limit. We don't know what it could happen at any moment. It has to do with temples and such disappearing.
I have to agree.
Lisa, as you hear all of Alindra's words and you see her still wreathed in flame, her skin becoming this blue, it's the color of the flame on the stove when you first light it. Bluest flame is always the hottest.
Mm-hmm.
And you see all of this and you're hearing her words, and as you do, you suddenly feel the claws of Kitty just sort of dig into your skin, Kalisa, as they're just sort of, and you like turn, you see Kitty's eyes are just like,
Kitty is stunned. I'm going to try to communicate with Kitty because right now I'm feeling pretty conflicted, and Kitty's reaction will definitely make me want to try to talk to Kitty. Hey, Kitty, sidebar? And kind of like give the group my one.
Kitty turns their head towards you.
Okay, Kitty. What are you thinking? Because like a part of me, Kitty, thinks that we shouldn't rush in. This seems a little bit more than I bargained for. And I think I'm siding with the doctor that maybe we should take a rest, but what do you think? Because I'm still feeling pretty good, but like maybe if we get a little bit more information and kind of try to take things slow, it might be better. You're having a pretty big reaction, Kitty. I could use something here.
There is a pause.
Okay.
Pause.
Didn't.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
That was a good one.
All cards on the table.
Mm-hmm. Always honest.
Not talking to you.
Oh, shoot.
Do you think we should tell her?
It might be wise.
The third voice.
No, there's just two. Just two
Just
voices
two?
right now.
I mean, only if you think she can handle it. Do we have enough room here?
I think we should be fine.
All right, well, try not to scare her too badly.
Kitty's eyes, as you attempt to communicate with Kitty. Kalisa. Kitty's eyes grow wide, the blacks of their eyes completely taking over their entire face almost. And they just completely get wider and wider. And you're like, Kitty, your head is growing. And
What big teeth you have.
suddenly Kitty's head splits.
Kitty.
And Kitty's body splits.
Kitty.
And there are now two kitties, one of whom moves to the other side, the other shoulder, and suddenly sprouting from Kitty's back, both of these kitties' backs, are two pairs of wings.
Trissums.
And the eyes of Kitty's eyes,
Kitties.
the kitty's eyes begin to glow. And you are staring, miniature in size, but not miniature in power. You are staring at dual sphinx. So one of the cat with the deeper voice has the more black and brown, and the cat with the lighter voice has a more white and brown. They both have glowing yellow eyes. The white and brown has white wings. The black and brown has black wings.
Oh, Kitty, you're beautiful. Look at you. I think it might be a little confusing calling you both Kitty now. I should have asked this a long time ago, Kitty, but do you have a different name? Should I call you?
We both can go by Kitty.
Okay. It's not gonna confuse you both?
We tend to...
Alyssa, your cat split in two.
Uh-huh. I'm trying not to freak out right now. It's pretty cool, but it's also like...
Oh, you could totally freak out, dear. It's not a problem.
Okay.
Oh my god, Grandma.
I feel like my entire life has been a lie, and this is a lot, but this is really cool. And I have lots of big feelings.
Is this the good panic again?
This is the good panic. Yes, this is good panic.
Still have no idea how to deal with that, but okay.
I don't know how to deal with it either. I'm totally freaking out.
Has Manavel seen a Sphinx before?
No.
Absolutely not. So I'm just like,
Manovel, are you good doctor? Are you good panicking? Is this a good panic?
I feel like this is significant in some way, but I could not make heads or tails of it.
So,
You have a lot of questions, I'm sure.
Oh, yes. She must have
ton of
oodles of questions.
Are we on a group chat now?
They're talking out loud.
Oh,
Their
Wait,
voice,
wait.
they're not inside Khalees's head. They're talking for everyone to hear
Okay.
right now.
I feel like this is really good. I feel like we are all on the same page for the first time ever. I feel like there's no more secrets. Nobody's talking inside of each other's heads or having side conversations. So let's just everybody get on the same page, okay?
That is a very sensible thing that you've just said, Khaleesa. Very well done, dear.
Thank you. You have shocked me into being mature, and I don't know how I feel about it.
Listen, this revelation brought on by Alindra, is that your real name?
The name I know of, yes.
Okay. Myself and my counterpart here, we are all that remains of the guardians of the Temple of Bahamut.
well, we were close.
Oh, good job.
Once the temple disappeared, we had to find refuge, and we flew and moved through the different planes until we found ourselves on the Midney Plateau, where...
And if cats could smile in a way that was super warm and loving, they would do that. But these two Sphinx sort of gesture very fondly and incline their head. Sort of, they each like put their like head like on Khalees's neck, and they just sort of rub their head on Khalees's pink hair, and they say, "That is where we first encountered
This one. And what one she is.
Yes. All cards on the table. We don't know where the temple has got to. It's not that whatever forces are at work here, and this one brings up a very good point, and he gestures in Alindra's direction. We were not aware of Grajit. We were not even aware of any of the other forces that were at work in Ashcaleen. This all happened very suddenly. We just so happened to be outside of the temple when it disappeared, or else we would have been taken with it. This
On another
one,
plane of existence somewhere.
it is possible. We do not sense it on this plane any longer. This one and their arrival was concerning.
and he gestures at Dr. Manovel, considering that they were one of the ones who first conversed with us. And
You know of my kin?
only by reputation. We are locked to this particular world. Your kind are not known to us in terms of our own personal experiences. You seem different, though.
Yes, you seem... At least from what we've heard, you seem very, very different.
You know how you guys said all cards on the table? I still have half a deck. But I don't know
Well,
if
that's
this...
rude.
We have not had any time to trauma dump, okay?
That's just
We've
simply
been
not true.
going
I've done it
nuts.
already.
We've gone nonstop for like 3 hours. This is the first time we've actually stopped and talked to each other. My God. But I don't know if we have time right now. But if you would like, and he drops Alan Manovel into his Illithid form. And for the first time ever, you hear him speak fully. And it projects into your minds, but what you guys hear out loud is this guttural, "My name is them! There's a reason why I haven't put the deck on the table, okay? You know how hard it is to talk to people? Like, I am one of the hive. The hive is those like me. But you know how the vampires, they wanted the blood? We partake in the brain.
Oh.
And he lifts his tentacles up so you can fully see his beak for the first time. And this black sharpness, almost like like the velociraptor's talon. It's sharp like that, where the top comes down a little bit further. I do not partake anymore. That is why I am different. I no longer have a connection to our hive leader.
So you're vegan.
However, the tadpoles do as soon as they find a host.
Oh.
I would like to not go into the gory details, but to make baby, you need body. That body, you steal it. That is the very easy way of putting that. And as soon as a signal is let out, they are connected to the leader, and that will make this planet known. That is why I'm trying to avoid that.
So you asked earlier, what's the time frame like? And I just feel like I need to ask you the same question. What kind of time frame are we looking on that? Because that also sounds really bad. There are a lot of moving parts.
So I'm trying to look, and I don't think we ever actually set a time. Manovel's been here for 10 years?
Mm-hmm.
I have been looking for these tadpoles for 10 years. It does not look like they have been taken out of their jars.
Okay.
As long as it stays that way, we have time.
Okay.
But as soon as someone tries to open that thing, we are on a clock.
What's that clock look like?
How long did it take for my ship to crash here?
How long did it take for it to crash here?
From home to here, how long was the trip?
That is a
weird concept of time.
Yeah, because you guys travel the astral sea a lot, so
it could be hours, it could be years. I'm not sure.
And so, in terms of where you the world you were at before you got to here, probably took about a year,
months, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay, but what I'm hearing is that we maybe have a little bit more time. So if we have to task manage, I feel like we've got to go with the other mission first.
That's why we are in here. We made that. You guys made that clear, and I understand. I am letting you know. We put the cards on the table.
We are putting cards on the table now, but to be fair, I wasn't paying attention, so I just want to get on the same page. Kitty, back me up here.
I'm still not
I
convinced
think
that
that
these
it-
tadpoles aren't in the castle.
So you think the tadpoles are in the castle? Because you said that to me one time. I don't really understand it. But do you think that they probably are in the castle?
I think if they're what you say, if they are what you say they are, then why wouldn't my cousin be after them?
It would be very powerful, and yeah, no, I agree. They would make a very good weapon. An entire army will come and devour this entire world.
Okay. So now what I'm hearing is that our two missions have become one mission, right? Just thinking out loud here.
At this point, the paternal Kitty looks at Dr. Manovel and says, or looks at Kalisa, but also looks at Dr. Manovel.
I do not believe that this one's hive and this one's cousin would ever have an aligned goal.
Okay. That's very helpful, Kitty. Thank you. See you guys?
Yes, this one's cousin is a creature of chaos, and from reputation at least, it would not seem that this one belongs. It seems like this one is more lawful, perhaps?
Are you talking about my mission or my personality?
Talking about the hive that you belong to.
Okay.
So my cousin wouldn't want that to get out.
I don't think that they would. Not at all.
So where would these things be safest?
Probably with someone who is more lawful.
Oh no, I don't like
Who
this
has a
sound.
sort of
Oh no.
code.
Oh no.
Have ideas?
Unfortunately, the one that
Don't
we
say Peter.
serve isn't on this plane anymore. I would not suggest any human. In terms of our experience, they are very breakable.
Yeah.
It might be worth looking for some other power. Perhaps even the one you serve might be able. And she's looking at Alindra. Perhaps you and your master
Daddy.
might be interested.
I don't like that word. Don't say master.
Sorry, no offense. Just you're the person you work for.
My daddy.
Yes, it always sounds wrong when I say it like that.
I gotta
Your
start
father?
hitting him.
Do you suggest that we get the tadpoles to give to my father?
What did he say about them? I mean, you did
They were
speak
not-
with them a few moments ago.
He was unconcerned with them.
Well, then maybe.
I cannot let anyone have those tadpoles.
Understood, but if one of the lords of hell isn't worried about your kind and their offspring being unleashed upon this world, if they are unconcerned about anything to do with that, then maybe it's not, perhaps it's not a worry.
Maybe they did get squished.
You can only hope. And I'm Manavel's staring daggers because he just got completely undermined. I don't know any of these deities, so for me, this is just a talking cat. Still,
2 talking cats.
2 talking cats. Are we going forward or are we proceeding for now? Alindra.
I'm sorry. I've said that I've been going this entire time, and you have all been constantly questioning me.
Because you also said we're going to die. So I feel
said
like
it's
that's
possible.
a valid
I
way.
would like you to understand what you're getting into.
Oh no, he's rolling dice again, guys. We
Oh,
got him.
no.
We got him.
Oh no.
I flame off, and I'm gonna turn and start walking into the
I need
castle.
everyone to give me a charisma saving throw.
Oh no, I have no charisma. I've got no riz.
But you have a bardic inspiration.
Oh, that's true. Is it
If-
still on?
Should. But hopefully, has it been more than 10 minutes?
25.
You got a 25?
That's 20 more than I got. Unless I have bardic inspiration.
DM.
Yep.
Has it been more than 10 minutes?
At this point, you're right on the edge of 10 minutes. You guys have been moving forward and talking and having this exchange.
So is that the yes on the bardic for the saving throw or no?
It's up to them. Do they want to use it? I'll just say what's happening. in this
Okay.
moment. As this conversation has gotten steadily more tense and more heated, you see right kitty and left kitty look at each other, and being lawful neutral people, neutral kitties, They cast calm emotions on all of you. And you hear sort of the mother or the grandmotherly voice say, and you can choose in this moment with a 25. What was yours, Kalisa? You got
With
a
the Bardic?
5.
With the Bardic, that's +8, right?
That's a D8. Add
The
it.
D8.
Yeah, roll the D8.
It's a 7.
Whoops.
Dr. Manama, what did you get?
18.
18. On a 25, Alindra, you sense immediately that this is a spell, as you suddenly feel this pressure come over you, but it's not uncomfortable. It's sort of this warm, comforting sensation. And you hear the grandmotherly voice in all of your heads. Now, on a 25, I'll say that you can choose right now, because you recognize what it is, that you can be like, okay, that's not necessary. Dr. Manavel, you just make it. And you also are able to sense, oh, whoa, what's happening? Hear the grandmotherly voice. I'm sorry, Kalisa, but you are very real chill right now. It's like
it's easy breezy.
Yeah, it's sort of this familiar, comforting feeling, and you hear the grandmotherly voice come over, not talking out loud. In each of your minds, you hear the voice just say,
Now listen here, dears. I understand that everyone here has their own goals, and everyone here has their own fight, their own bit of skin in the game. We aren't going to get anywhere by arguing over each other. And especially you.
and at this point, she gets slightly more stern when talking, still very grandmotherly, but just slightly more, listen, you, to Dr. Manavel.
I think that what you really need right now is for you to maybe sleep for at least a few hours.
Yes!
I think that though it is dark in here, darkness is not always a bad thing, because darkness keeps you safe, hopefully, you safe from prying eyes as well. I think that it would be best if we all rested and just took this moment to reflect on what has happened over the last several hours. We have been through a lot. Everyone here, since we met. I jumped through a ring of fire. We've seen all manner of creatures in this city. We've dodged firebolts. We've infiltrated prisons. We've fought nasty bloodsuckers.
Okay, I think they got the gist. Listen, I think she's very right. We all need to rest.
And it's at this point, Kalisa, that the two cats, one cat moves over to the same shoulder as the other one, and they suddenly and they recombine into the single calico kitty.
Guys, isn't Kitty just like the best? This is awesome. Let's all just take a nap, hang out. Everything's fine. We got this.
I feel like me and Alindra look at each other, like we know what just happened, and then we both look at Kalisa.
I think I gotta go with the doctor. It sounds like the doctor has a degree.
It is. I did. I wrote it myself.
I thought you were going to go further than that. Like, they seem to have a degree of certainty.
No, that's just
about,
it.
No, they just have a degree. They just have a degree. And
No, I believe that we both have very important things to do. Yours is definitely, I feel like, on more of a time crunch, but I believe that we might have at least one day to prepare. I don't want to lose either one of you. And I look at both of the cats. I look at each of the eyes because I know they're. And then I look at you two.
In my head, I'm like, Daddy's gonna be so mad. I'm letting these people tell me what to do, but I'm going.
You guys, you've spent the better part of the last half hour walking and talking inside this canal as you've been making your way, as far as you can tell, towards the center portion. We'll say as you've walked, you've gotten to a point or in your travel where you are now in basically a crossroads of different tunnels and passageways, where it's just a crisscross intersection, where all of the different canals and waters just sort of meet. And it is fairly dark in here as the light from the opening that was created is now much, much further back. And it is just a pinprick of light.
Ooh.
And you are in this particular space when you decide, perhaps we don't. Perhaps we go back. Is that correct?
Alindra's not gonna make them go with her if they don't want to.
Is Alindra going with or without us?
High or low? High, yes. Low, no.
High, yes. Low, no. Yes.
I picked last time, so Rachel, this is all you.
That's a lot of pressure on little old me. I want to say high, but I feel like it's low, so I'm gonna go high.
Low.
I knew it was low.
So low,
It's
no.
a 6, so no.
Okay.
So you are going to continue on yourself, or you are going to say no and you're going to head back.
I feel like we didn't think this through properly and come up with a great answer, so maybe I'll just stay with my party.
Okay, so you guys are heading back in the direction that you came. Okay. You're not stopping to rest at this point then.
I think
Just
the
confirming.
whole point. I think the whole point is that we're trying to find a place to rest, correct?
A safe place to rest, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Even though Kitty told us that this was a safe place to rest, right?
Is there any place
Kitty
we
was
can
just
sit down
saying-
without water?
Kitty was just saying, oh yeah. I mean, either you've been walking in the canal, but there are pathways on either side of the canal that are elevated.
Why would I walk in the canal if there are pathways, Dan?
Because
Andy?
the passage.
Why
the
would
passage,
why is Alindra in the water if there are pathways?
I have made it very clear that you've been in this water the entire time.
Why?
I told you about the pathways when you guys walked into this canal. There's this tunnel.
Oh my god.
To be fair, Kalisa did not care. So.
Okay.
So, am I correct in saying that you are not spending the night here, that you are moving back towards the opening, out to find another place to rest that you think is safe?
Completely fine going into one of these passageways and trying to sleep, but that doesn't sound. Alindra said that that they didn't like that option.
I'll stay here. But also you were like, we need to find a map and all of that. And then
That
Alindra's
was
like,
just
I'm
an
gonna
idea.
go
If we
look.
left, if we don't want to get the map, we want to do that. We want to just go. You know what? Fuck it. Let's just go in. I don't need the map. Let's go. I'm getting angry already. I need to hit something.
Oh man, is our bard
Alindra completely like flame
Ah,
on, and
this-
just everything like fills up the tunnel with how annoyed she gets right there.
I am annoyed too.
We're all annoyed except for me.
You're
Not
so cool.
okay.
You're cool as a cucumber.
This is weird. Is this what it's like when
The barbarian is the only person
cool
who's not angry right now.
Yep.
Wow, what a refreshing
Doctor, I'm really
change of
trying here.
pace.
I need you to go and take a nap because you've got your grouchy pants on and I cannot deal with it.
I think everybody's feeling a little grouchy but me. What do you think, Kitty?
I
Wow.
think everyone is feeling rather testy right now. I think that perhaps they need to go to neutral areas and just cool off. Re-achieve
I go-
balance and equilibrium.
Equilibrium. That is a very, very good idea. Very good word choice. Yes, equilibrium needs to be.
The glare the cats get from Alindra. Just
Oh, they're not talking out loud. They're talking to Kalisa
Okay.
in their head.
Yeah, no, we're having a moment.
gotcha.
Novel goes and finds a pathway away from the group. In your heads, you both say, "Here, I do care about you guys deeply. I'm sorry if I was grouchy. Good night." And then you just hear just like immediately falls asleep.
Okay. So as I said before, in terms of the location, you have reached basically a center point where multiple tunnels and canals are meeting. On either side of you, there are raised platform walkways, like a sidewalk, basically, that basically extend about 10 feet, and then there's a wall. Ever so often there are ladders that go up into other passageways that go up into the structure that you know to be above you, which is Winterhold's Keep. But at this point, you are at a crossroads, an intersection of canals and waterways that go in different directions. At this point, you see Dr. Manavel has gone off onto one of the raised platforms, and they sort of put their back up against the wall, and they sort of like hunch over. And
That's so cute.
Lindra will offer to take first watch. She only needs 4 hours.
So Alindra, you're offering to take first watch. Okay. Kalisa, what are you doing?
I just am hanging out with Kitty, just like boop, boop,
Are you near Dr. Manavel or near Alindra, wherever they're taking watch?
I think I'm more so near Dr. Manavel because I'm like having a hard time going to sleep because I am kind of excited about all this new information about Kitty, and like I'm still kind of awake, but I'm not really paying attention to anything around me other than like Kitty and just like my thoughts.
Alindra, you're taking watch first. Okay. I need to give me a perception check.
Okay, what's my perception? 14.
14. So you're breaking this up. So it's a 8-hour period. You're breaking it up 3 ways, I'm assuming.
I'll do
Right. So you only need the 4 hours. So
yeah, so I'll do 4.
You'll do a full 4. Okay.
I'll take the next watch.
I will do the last.
Well, actually, if we're breaking it up into 4s, it would be Kalisa and Alindra who would just take the watch, and Dr. Manavel would just use that time to heal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So you get the full 8 hours, Dr. Manavel. During that period, Alindra, all is quiet, except for the sound of moving water as it passes through the canals around you. The sound of moisture dripping from the ceiling. Occasionally you hear sort of the splash of an odd fish. Odd as in like it was a random moment, not odd as in this fish is really odd. But the 4 hours passes with no incident. Just quiet, which is a welcome respite from the last several hours, which comparatively, one was absolute chaos and cacophony. And this moment is not that. And just feel very comforted by the sort of the lulling sound of the water around you. Because even though you are a being of fire, water is not an enemy. And the time passes quietly, without incident, and eventually it is Kalisa's turn for watch. During this time, Dr. Manavel, you are snoring, just
like bubbles and gurgles, and just
like the tentacles just continuously, just when you breathe out, just this loud snoring sound, the exhalation, and then
fluoride, gingivitis.
Halitosis. Alindra, how do you awaken Kalisa?
She'll I don't know how she wakes up, so this is gonna be fun. She'll walk up, kneel beside her, and then just very gently put a hand on her shoulder.
I roll over I roll over and hug you like you're a teddy bear.
Okay. Yep. This is
Kitty.
no, Alindra.
Oh, Kitty.
No, Alindra. Look in my face. We are literally nose to nose. Open your eyes.
Wow. Oh. Hi.
Hello.
It's my turn.
Yes, it's your turn.
All right. Get some rest. Boop, 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 boop. And then I take your spot.
And I'll sit down and cross my legs and just kind of meditate for 4 hours.
During this moment, as the guard switches, separating their persons into their individual selves has taken a lot out of Kitty, and Kitty takes this moment to sort of hop down off of Khaleesi's shoulder, and then as Alindra has moved into sort of a meditative stance, Kitty is going to hop down and very put their 2 front paws on Alindra's knees as they look up at her, just sort of waiting.
Oh, are we not yelling at me anymore? I pat my lap.
They hop up into your lap, and they do the little curling thing that dogs and cats do, where they try to like make a space for themselves in your lap, and they just eventually just coil into like the warmest area, which is all of
all of
Alindra.
me. I make myself a little warmer so it's even more comfortable.
Immediate purrs by Kitty.
Rich.
And Kitty just sort of very gently just falls asleep.
Biscuit maker.
They're getting along. Yes.
We love to see it.
Khaleesa, for your watch, I need you to give me a perception check.
No one wants to cuddle with the mind flare? Oh, okay.
Mind flare was grumpy pants.
Yeah, you're a little mean.
Sorry.
I rolled a 19.
You rolled a 19.
Yes. Is that good? Is that good or bad?
Khaleesa. So at this point, it would actually be sort of the end. It would actually be around 6 o'clock, or maybe the very end, like 5 o'clock in the morning. We're about to enter into the 6 o'clock area. And on a 19, you are sitting and sometimes standing. You'll get up and just sort of take a look around, stretch every hour. You look down, you see Alindra, very calm, content looking. See Kitty sort of curled up, just very warm and happy. Then you look at Dr. Manavel. Dr. Manavel seems to be the picture of peaceful slumber right now.
Stupid plaque. Ugh.
And as you're sort of gazing over your companions, or on either side of you, your eyes then go up and you look up over the canal. And as your eyes move up over the water, you see this goopy form
Here.
moving down the passageway, away from the entrance, but down the passageway into the center portion of the crossroads of the canals. And then it moves deeper west of you, moving down another one of the passageways. But it is a goopy mass that is awful smelling. And it has this distinct, even though it doesn't have any kind of form, it still smells slightly sulfurish, but it does not seem to notice you.
Oh no. Don't do that.
What do you do?
I don't like that you rolled the dice. That's So I'm watching it, holding my breath, and so far it doesn't notice me. I look over at the rest of my party and I see how peaceful the doctor is, and I see the Lady Alindra is still like meditating, and I choose to try to gently wake her up because I don't want to poke the grumpy bear and risk the doctor having a very loud awakening and alerting threat. So
I'll
I
just-
kind of creep over very, very, very carefully, and I just place a hand on top of Kitty and a hand on top of Lady Alendra's knee, and that's it. I don't say anything. I just kind of gently pat them as gently as a Goliath barbarian can pat somebody. Try to wake them up.
I open one eye and just like raise an eyebrow.
I put my finger to my mouth and I'm like, shh, but I don't
I'll message
actually
you.
make a sound.
I'll
And then
message you.
Yeah.
Then you can say whatever you want to say. What's the matter?
So there's a fart smelling blob in the water. It doesn't smell great and it's just a blob. I don't really know what it is, but I was hoping that you might know what this threat is. It doesn't seem to notice us at all, and I was very, very quiet. Like the doctor told me to be like Kitty, and that's what I did.
So there's a weird blob.
Mhm,
No,
it's
what shape is it?
like a blob.
Like a blob. Does it have color?
Mm, yes.
What color?
Don't remember.
I'll say, yeah, you do remember. On a 19, you said you
On
got
a
a
nine-
19.
Yeah,
It had a vaguely reddish color.
a vaguely reddish color. I
So
can.
there's a smelly red
Mhm.
blob
Mhm.
somewhere down here.
Yep. Just a.
Can I roll to see if I know what this is?
Give me a history check.
Because I think I know what it is.
Guidance.
History. 15.
On a 15, definitely sounds.
Oh, fuck, I should have guidance to myself. Damn it. I'm sorry.
That
Oh, I'm sorry. I
guidance!
thought-
I
I'm
said
It just
sorry.
makes
guidance.
sense now.
I thought
Hmm?
you said, I thought you had, that was with guidance.
Okay, no. Hang on, I'm gonna guidance it. I just heard your voice in my head now. Delayed processing. 17.
A 17. Given its smell, in terms of smelling like a rancid fart, and the fact that it is a reddish hue and that it is an amorphous blob.
I don't want to.
Is it what I think it is? Is it what I think it is?
I have 2 guesses right now.
Yeah.
This is a being that Alindra has never encountered kind of combat, but it is a being that others of her family have, her brothers and sisters. And you know that given your collective knowledge, that it is what is referred to as an obelix.
I knew it. Okay. Well, it sounds like it's an obelix.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I don't think we should go.
Dr.
that
Manovel, you
way.
are muted.
I'm screaming at the top of my lungs. How dare you!
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we should go that way.
Okay.
We'll go the opposite.
Okay. So I don't really know anything about this creature, but your vibes are freaking me out a little bit.
She looks genuinely concerned when you say that. Like, I'm not being weird. I'm trying to be comforting.
You are being comforting. I just
Kitty
can-
is still asleep, by the way.
I'm just now petting Kitty to comfort myself. Because to me, this beautiful creature in front of me who has had all the answers, it seems so far, is kind of freaking out a little bit. And so I'm kind of picking up on that nervous energy. So I'm petting Kitty to calm myself.
Kitty
And I'm
suddenly like,
Oh, sorry, dear. You're very comfortable there for a second.
Yeah, very, very, very snug.
She's a beautiful, warm lady, but we gotta be quiet in our brains, okay?
Who knew that guardians of the former temple of Bahamut would find refuge and solace with a being of hellfire?
I'm actually a very nice person.
what's the matter?
So Lady Alindra is going to explain to me what the weird smelling fart creature that I saw.
A weird smelling fart creature?
Yeah.
What is this a joke? What is happening?
No, I don't know what it is. I was just minding my own business, kitty, just walking along, and all of a sudden it smelled really bad. And I looked down, and there was like this reddish blob cube thing. And so I came over here to tell you guys.
Did it touch you?
No. I'm fine.
You're sure?
Actually, speaking of that, are there any like red threads or any of that stuff around?
Give me a perception check.
Are there any?
Can I make a perception check since Kitty asked me if I'm fine, and so I'm genuinely looking myself over?
Sure. We'll say
Okay.
since you're looking, so you're not looking around you, you're looking at yourself.
Right. I'm kind of checking myself out and like looking around because Kitty has asked me if I'm okay. And so
Okay.
I'm like, yeah, I think I'm fine. And can I roll perception?
Yep.
I rolled a dirty 20.
You seem completely unscathed. Nothing
Very
has
cool.
touched you. What did you get?
24.
24. As you
Oh no.
look around, whether it is the light of your body from the fire that is just naturally a part of you, you see all over the walls and descending down into the canal, weaving tendrils of reddish ichor and slime and ooze that at first seem to move, or don't seem to move at all, rather. But after closer examination, as you sort of turn up the intensity of your light, you see that directly in front of you, inching towards your foot, Alindra, is a tendril of reddish, veiny, oozing, almost a pustule arm that is just reaching towards your foot. And that is where we're going to end it tonight. Thank you all for watching. Tune in next time to see what happens with our intrepid band of adventurers as they explore new mysteries beneath the keep of Winterhold. We love you all, and we will see you next time, which, unfortunately, will be a little bit longer due to the fact that both myself and Winkles the Wizard will be attending Gen Con this coming week. So, from me to you all, I look forward to seeing some of you. Please don't hesitate to say hi. Love you all. See you soon.